All right, welcome back everyone to hopefully will be a fantastic and full season 3 of the Hofstra Draft League. I'm here accompanied with my co-host.
Cygnus here. How's it going, everybody?
Unfortunately, Daniel could not make it in time. He had other prior engagements, so it'll just be the two of us.
Shame.
It is indeed a shame, but next week he will be joining us when we are reviewing week 1 of the first set of
Woohoo.
games. Speaking of games, we got to see who are teams, and this season we got 12 fantastic teams. One logo still pending. Don't mind the toad face on screen, but everyone else has submitted their logos. Could take a gander. We got some new faces and some old returning ones. Some with the fresh paint of coat. I said that backwards. You know what I mean.
A paint of coat, yes.
For
But yeah,
example,
and also to note, this season, like season 1, we're going back to our roots. We're running a doubles VGC season, this time with the Regulation G rules, which means, yes, there are restricted legendaries in this draft. One restricted legendary per team is in play now. So we have some very exciting teams, some restricted you'd expect to see, some more off the board picks, but a lot of excitement to be had within these 12 teams. I'm very excited to see what happens this season.
yeah, we've got restrictors on all sides of the board. We got the good ones, we got the bad ones, and we've got even some new legendaries in our different logos. Uh, for me personally, I was able to get a fresh not coat but paint with my new mega that got announced. So now we are the Plasma Proteans this season. We mega evolve, baby.
Yes, and as for myself, the Magikarp Mayhem is no more, for I chose a new mascot and became the Malevolent Miraidons, entering a bit of a villain arc. As well, well, we'll see exactly what happened with my team and whether I got my mascot or not.
Yeah, we can get into why this villain arc started, specifically with our draft that went on. I think there was a lot of strong teams, a lot of interesting teams, showing
Yeah,
that
a lot.
this is how draft
A,
went.
yeah, let me just say this draft did not go how I was expecting it to go at all.
Yeah, overall the draft process went smooth. We had some time restraints going on, but overall I think everyone got at least a decent team. Maybe not what everyone wanted, but I think everyone has at least a competent team, specifically with the Pokemon that they chose to draft this season.
Yeah, and only one player fell asleep during the draft too.
As of what we know. For all we know, there could have been more
True.
that were lost in the Battle of Stalingrad, but we do not speak of that anymore.
Yes. So yeah, right off the bat, looking at this draft, I'm seeing a lot of restrictions right off the bat. uh, Miraidon going first overall, with me being sniped one pick before I could get my mascot, unfortunately. But I pivoted. I went with Koraidon, and I'm happy with my team overall. Then going on next, Rayquaza being the third Pokemon off the board was not something I expected. I expected to see. That pick definitely took me by surprise. Shadow Rider came after that, and then you, Armando. I'm not sure if you want to talk about this with with you making the first round pick that was not a restricted legendary, going for the Alolan Ninetales first overall instead.
I had absolutely no fear that people were going to snipe Pure and Black off of me. If people did, I was going to crash out. No way. But not worse than the Eevee Alliance, who got sniped 3 times in a row for their legendary.
Yeah, they wanted the first three off the board. Instead, went for for one of the coach's second favorite Pokemon in Mewtwo, followed by Lugia going, of course, to the ludicrous Lugias.
Of course.
Kyogre going next, then another non-restricted with Dragapult going in round 1, followed closely by Excadrill. So again, I guess some people not necessarily expecting to be sniped or just wanting to secure certain cornerstones other than their restricteds right off the bat. And finally, wrapping up round 1, we had Lunala going to Daniel's own The Judgment Day. And note that there's a team whose round 1 we did not touch upon. Due to some unfortunate circumstances, Marcus was unfortunately not able to join the draft until we were a few rounds in, but he made the most of it, managing to grab the mighty Groudon at a late point in the draft after other restricteds were already off the board.
Yeah, all things considered, despite Marcus coming in late, he seems to have drafted a quite scary Sun team. Like even
Yeah,
with
that's definitely a strong
Levani,
contender.
I was looking into that. It gets chlorophyll, so he was still cooking with the 1-point picks.
Oh, man. You know, I didn't even put that together.
But yeah, as you can see, there's some clear winners of the draft, I guess, in the conventional sense. Of you see some particular archetypes like the Calyrex Balance team, the really good Rain team that Hunter drafted. Obviously, Danny
Yeah,
going with that
Arabiga
Paratrap.
Miraidon
Yep.
on Taco Lover, which was the exact plan I was going for heading into the draft, but after I got sniped on Miraidon, I had to completely pivot my plan, so I went for a Koraidon Fluttermane offense team with a lot of support around it.
Danny, I think your plans got leaked. Your game was stolen, but you're gonna get to run it back. Actually, I'm not sure if you face Taco, but if you do, then you get to run
I
it back.
do.
Awesome. We get to see that at some point. You get to
Yeah,
fight with
I
him
think
for
it's like week
vengeance.
5.
Week 5. All right. All right. But yeah, we're gonna go a little more in depth, starting by team draft order. Even if they didn't get to draft that order, Marcus, Stalingrad. Anyways, yeah, this is the overall team that Mark was able to put together with the time that he had, and yeah, like I said, it's a pretty scary Sun team core overall.
Yeah, also something to note about the Rose-Tinted Lenses. Originally, Tornadus Incarnate was drafted by Marcus, but in a post-draft trade made with Hunter, it was sent. Tornadus was sent to the Wayward Weaviles in exchange for Grimmsnarl.
Marcus is too
Snarl as
nice.
well.
Why did he give Hunter Tornadus
Yeah,
Incarnate?
I know. I'm so scared to face Hunter's team now after that, especially.
Marcus too nice.
But
But I
hey,
mean, Grimmsnarl
Grimmsnarl.
is still pretty good.
Yeah, it's a very strong support. It has Prankster, can set up dual screens, Thunderwave.
Yeah. But going in
Yeah,
a
let's hop.
more in depth.
Yeah,
Start with
let's
the
hop right
mighty
into the mon.
Crouton.
Starting. Yeah, Marcus's restricted is Groudon, Lord of the Sun himself. Some of Groudon's most common moves include Groudon's signature move, the mighty spread ground type move Precipice Blades, along with a very high weight supporting Heat Crash, and the standard ground high horsepower.
Yeah, for the items that it typically likes to run, either runs Assault Vest or Clear Amulet so it doesn't get intimidated, which there isn't that many intimidators so far in the draft, but nonetheless, you don't really want your stats to get lowered overall. But I mean, it gets some other moves that are also pretty good for it. You know, it gets some bulk up. It gets some dragon moves for the different dragon restricteds that were drafted. Obviously, yeah, it gets Precipice Blades. What else does it get? Good Rock Slide, Swords Dance, maybe a Solar Beam if it's feeling a little different. It gets pretty good moves.
think-
But
The main thing to be wary of using Groudon is you're gonna have misses happen at some point.
yeah,
It's not the most reliable restricted out there.
yeah. Always.
But
look
hey,
up the
it's a
play.
Sun Master, and not only is it strong, but just its presence on the field alone supports so many good Pokemon. Whether it be strong fire types, whether it be mons with chlorophyll, filled to increase that speed, or even some of the past Paradox Pokemon with their photosynthesis ability getting powered up by it, which we know Marcus has a few of those on this team.
Mhm. And one great example is Raging Bolt. I was a little worried it was Ogerpon after this, but it is Raging Bolt. Obviously a fantastic photosynthesis Pokemon because it is not a fire type, so it does get to benefit from that sun and also be able to give off different types of stab, mainly being electric and dragon.
Yeah, Raging Bolt is such such a strong Pokemon. I mean, in terms of stab, it's a dragon. It gets Draco Meteor. You know what the deal is there. Thunderbolt's also a good move, and Raging Bolt also has a signature move in the form of Thunderclap, which, for those who don't know, is an electric type special version of Sucker Punch, pretty much, which can be very threatening if used right. And the commonly used items here on Raging Bolt, you see the booster energy for the times you're sending out Raging Bolt. You might not always have the sun up in the battle, so that booster energy could be a nice fallback to make sure you get your photosynthesis activated. And of course, there's the life orb to increase that big damage ever further.
Yeah, and if the sun is out and you got Life Orb, that is double the bonus damage that you're going to be outputting with the Pokemon that can pretty much get priority with Thunderclap if it guesses correctly. I mean, its other moves are also pretty good. I mean, for support, it gets some Breaking Swipe. It gets, it gets Solar Beam too if you want to set it up in the sun, deal with some of those pesky ground types that are going to want to hurt you. Some taunts. Discharge.
Yeah, and just at the end of the day, it's a strong photosynthesis electric dragon type with a base 137 special attack. It's a good Pokemon.
Yeah. But you know what else is a good Pokemon? Ogerpon.
Yes, specifically the Wellspring variant. Featuring really good moves, not only with the super strong Ivy Cudgel, which is a water type move on this mon, but also the great Spiky Shield as just pretty much a more powerful protect, pretty much being able to damage the attacker if they use a contact move. And yes, this thing is a legendary. It is a powerful attacker. Great stats across the board, but this thing gets follow me.
Yeah, definitely one of the best redirectors in the format in general, just being an Ogerpon. And obviously Marcus picked off specifically the Wellspring version, so being able to get a good water type out of that. Sure, it's going to get reduced by the sun, but like that's if it's put next to the sun, and most of the time it's just going to be a good follow me, just I take all the damage while the sun sweepers take over the game.
Yeah, and that's not even talking about some of the other moves Ogerpon gets, such as Woodhammer or Hornleech for sustainability and just more grass stab options. And Wellspring also gets Taunt too.
But yeah, overall Ogerpon is a very good addition to Marcus' team and a very good water pickup.
Yeah, and one last thing I want to mention here is how this allows a Sun team to get around a traditional weakness to opposing rain, because Ogerpon Wellspring has Water Absorb as its ability, along with the Raging Bolt, which we went over, packing strong electric type moves to counter those pesky rain boosted water types in these weather wars. Which, if this draft league is going to be full of one thing, it will be weather wars.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't even consider it could just be used as a water repellent pretty much with follow me and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of water repellent, something that isn't afraid of water whatsoever is Gouging Fire, another good pickup by Marcus.
Yeah, this Fire Dragon type Paradox Mon is another Mon that gets the great ability of Photosynthesis, which which is likely to be boosting either its attack or its defense stat. It's great in both physical departments. Commonly comes with the really solid supporting move. Breaking Swipe. It can nuke you with a strong Stab Flare Blitz, or it could use its signature move, Burning Bulwark, to serve as a protect and burning contact attackers. Although it is important to note with Burning Bulwark, status moves can go through it. It does not protect from those.
Yeah, it's definitely a very good physical attacking repellent with the Burning Bulwark. Maybe not Incineroar, but other non-fire types definitely do not want to touch it. I mean, this king is very bulky, can provide that support with that Breaking Swipe, but also can just sweep a game if you set it up with Dragon Dance or get that Photosynthesis up and running. Like, this thing can also just run away with games with, let's see, what is that attack stat that it has? A whopping 115, which isn't bad, but with the Photosynthesis boost, they can get to very dangerous levels.
Or you could go for the defense moves, go all in on support with that Breaking Swipe, being a deterrent with Burning Bulwark. It also gets moves like Snarl and Howl to support the team as well.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good draft mon because they can kind of fit just a couple of different roles that Marcus can use it for each week.
Yeah, it just fits in with the core of the team really well. And speaking of photosynthesis, yet another one is here. This one being Roaring Moon.
Yeah, Roaring Moon is another very scary photosynthesis like sweeper. It can also support with Tailwind. It gets knock off, get rid of those pesky items. And once it boosts their energies itself, it gets acrobatics, which is just ridiculous damage. And even if you double down on that with like a Terra Flying, you're just gonna be wiping things off of the field.
Yeah, and you're fast. You have base 119 speed to go with that absolutely monstrous attack stat. I mean, we were just talking about Gouging Fire being a strong attacker with that base 115. Try Roaring Moon in base 139.
Yeah, you do not want to be taking damage from that thing. But I mean, it also gets other support moves as well. Like if it wants to set up its own Sunny Day, like no Groudon needed, it can do that. It can Breaking Swipe as well, like Gouging Fire. It could even Roost up, heal up that damage, and just stay and be more of a menace longer on the field. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, but man, I'm sorry to circle back here. Here, I'm just looking at the fact that this thing gets acrobatics again. So so I could definitely see a world you don't have the sun up. You send out Roaring Moon. The booster energy gets consumed, giving you a photosynthesis attack boost on top of that insane attack stat. And you have no more items, so acrobatics is further powered up. Plus, as you said earlier, the option to Terra Flying. That is just terrifying.
Yeah, it's gonna be dropping things out of the sky. Groudon's going to be its best friend, and even if it's not there, he'll be supported from the back. Cause this thing, oof. The more I look at it, the more I'm kind of worried about Marcus's team.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised this thing often goes so far under the radar in VGC.
Yeah, mainly because of that quad weakness. But as long as you get your Terra type,
Yeah.
it can do numbers. But speaking of numbers, what if you have them with Light Screen and Reflect, and who better to do that than the Screen Man himself, Grim Snarl?
Yes. As you mentioned when going over the overall team in a trade that was made to acquire Grimmsnarl. Yes, Marcus paid a high price for it, but you can see what's attractive about Grimmsnarl, especially, I mean, this is a team that has so many heavy hitters. You want things to support them, and Grimmsnarl has Prankster. It'll often carry the light clay item, making those screens you mentioned so much tougher to break through. It gets Thunder Wave. It gets Fake Out. Even Spirit Break is a pretty solid attack in its own right as well.
Yeah.
Force Fairy Stab off a base 120 attack stat too.
If you want to support Pokemon, this is it. It gets Parting Shot, Taunt, Trick, all the funny stuff it can do. It gets Metronome, 11. You missed out here, but it gets all the supporting tools that you can possibly want for a Pokemon. And even though he traded Tornadus for it, Grimmsnarl is a pretty good pickup still, and especially with all the offensive bonds that Marcus has, like this is a pretty core support that he can use pretty much bring every week if he wants to.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a Prankstermon with a lot of really good and valuable supporting moves. It's hard to say too many bad things about that.
Yeah. Speaking of great support, one of the best intimidators in the game, Arcanine. Unlike Incineroar, it doesn't have to worry about being weak to fighting, being pure fire, typically running safety goggles or choice scarf. And this is another incredible support mod for Marcus to pick up, and can also run it offensively, especially in the sun with those fire blitzes. It could also be doing massive damage. Like another great pickup.
Yeah, definitely. There's a reason in the formats Incineroar is not legal for. You often see Arcanine being the poster boy for Intimidate. It's a strong and fast Pokemon. It gets great moves. Extreme Speed is like the most powerful priority move in the game. It can support with the moves mentioned above, nerve opposing special attackers as well as physical attackers by running Snarl. Just a nice fire type jack of all trades. Really.
Yeah, it could do anything that the other Pokemon don't want to do that specific week. And overall just a great intimidating pickup, or just in general. A sweet little doggo. But we'll talk about interesting niche pickups. With the one-pointer Levani, we didn't really have the Picolytic stats to back up any top moves, so we kind of had to run with what we thought was good. If I were to take a guess, it would probably run Focus Sash, being quad weak to fire. But with the Chlorophyll, you can have the option to run it offensively. That's why I put Life Orb up there if you wanted to run it with Chlorophyll and then just start doing grass type damage if you don't want Ogerpon to be doing that grass type damage. I mean, it gets Pollen Puff, gets Knockoff. It gets interesting moves. It's not like a bad pick. It's definitely a 1-point pick.
Remembering Levani getting Chlorophyll definitely makes his pick make a lot more sense to me now. Definitely fits in with the theme of this team. I don't think Levani is going to be brought to that many games. Maybe it could have an issue at some point in the season, though. I'm excited to see what it could pull off.
I think it's triple Axel.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna be honest, I think this is the Vivian of this season. It might pick up a couple KOs one game and completely change the set.
Do you think this thing is gonna make some noise on the MVP ladder?
Maybe not too high, but at least on a set or two, I think it can make a great difference. However, I don't know if I could say the same about this next pick. I really wish I could, but Marcus's last pick was the almighty Psyduck.
I mean, I gotta say here, on a team called the Rose-Tinted Lenses, I love that this team has a Psyduck. That's just great.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the Unite skin, but
it's a Psyduck.
It has a red shades on it, and that's the Psyduck that I imagine
exactly
Marcus is bringing every week.
Same. I think this was just a last round. I have 1 point. Let's do a haha funny pick here.
I mean, it can do some stuff if you want to just run it as like a surprise gotcha type Pokemon. I mean, it gets Cloud9 if you don't want to do Weather Wars at all. Here's your budget. Altaria, Rayquaza, the mighty Psyduck. It gets Haze if you want to get rid of the stat buffs. It gets Taunt if you know like Trick Room. Icy Wind if you want speed support. It can do stuff. I wouldn't recommend it. You can do like Focus Sash Endeavor and just be like, haha, you're donezo, buddy. But probably wouldn't recommend it. But you could do it if you wanted.
Yeah, you could. I mean, again, Psyduck is a mon. I'm very much not sure how much use it's going to get, but it's a Psyduck, and seeing Psyduck makes me happy, so I approve of this pick, especially as a last round 1-pointer.
I do as well. But moving on to the next team, specifically the team that has caused Denny to go on his malevolent arc, the Rising Raichus.
My op right here.
Number 1
no.
Denny op right here.
Hey, I respect it because it means someone else has. It means someone else had the same vision I had, and I respect the vision here because this is my personal favorite team archetype in modern day VGC, the Arabega Miraidon team. I respect it.
Yeah, it is
I wish I could be the one using it. I very much respect this. I think this has an argument to be possibly the best team in the draft.
For sure. I mean, you got your electric terrain loving Pokemon. You got a pretty good Intimidator. You got the mascot on the team. What's not to love here?
Yeah, just around Miraidon, I mean, for Redraft, Iron Hands and Whimsicott is like the perfect support core with it. Plus, the strong power of the Ogerpon Hearthflame and the Dark Urshifu makes this team really scary, along with the other elements you mentioned earlier, Armando.
Definitely a very scary team to go up to in any week that it's placed against.
Yeah.
But if we really want to start at the core of why it's scary to go against, look no further than the mascot of Denny that was stolen. We will keep bringing it up because it's very sad. But the mighty Miraidon.
Yep, Miraidon, one of my personal favorite Pokemon. This thing is a tactical nuke in and of itself. I mean, just the sheer amount of modifiers this thing gets to attack is crazy. I mean, you could run choice specs and running electric terrain boosted, Hadron engine boosted, possibly Terra boosted Electro Drift deals ridiculous damage. Like The amount of things this just completely wipes off the board, clean KOs, is crazy. Just the sheer damage output that Miraidon has. And not only that, but Miraidon typically runs a choice items, which makes Volt Switch one of the single-handed most valuable moves this thing could have. It could deal solid damage, being another special electric type move that also lets you pivot out, which also resets your choice locking and pivot. Just the amount of opportunities that allows you is unreal. And plus, it gets Draco Meteor. It could do Draco Meteor things. If you want spread damage, you could run Discharge. Charge. If you want coverage while also having spread, throw a Dazzling Gleam out there while you're at it. Miraidon loves high damage numbers, and it is not lacking in ways to deal those out.
Yeah, this is a Pokemon that each week, if you do not have a Pokemon specifically defensively bulked up to deal with this thing, things are dying on this field when it touches it. I mean, 135 special attack, 135 speed. It's a very hard Pokemon to stop. You know, it had a little trouble in VGC, but no one denied that it was a good Pokemon. It just struggled to finally get that win, and I feel like it's going to get a lot of wins in this draft league.
Yeah, and I feel the presence of Miraidon also feels kind of as a dual threat in terms of speed modes the team could play in. Miraidon, I mean, look, Miraidon's definitely a mon. It likes to play fast, and there's Whimsicott on this team to give it tailwind. It likes playing fast, but Miraidon is low key really solid in a Trick Room mode as well. It can Volt Switch out as Trick Room is set up, and then after the turns of Trick Room, and then once Trick Room expires, it could come in and just sweep through the end game after the Trick Room mode does its thing too. To Miraidon Quirk in both forms, it just deals so much damage in so many different ways. I think there's a real argument for it to be the #1 best Pokemon in the format.
Yeah, for sure. But speaking of good Pokemon again, Ogerpon again, but this time specifically the Hearthflame version that Taco decided to draft. A very good fire pickup, obviously. A lot of the same things that we said about before. He gets Ivy Cudgel, Spiky Shield, Follow Me, really good pivot, uh, really good protector for Miraidon and some of the other like electric terrain or just good damage sweepers that Taco decided to draft. More or less the same, but fire type.
Yeah, and something I want to bring up, similar to when we were talking about Ogerpon Wellspring and how and how that could counter opposing weather with rain. Ogerpon Hearthflame kind of does the same thing with opposing grassy terrain. This thing gets Grassy Glide, and being a strong fire type attacker, it could take care of those pesky Rillabooms on the opposing side, helping Miraidon to win that terrain war even further as well.
Mhm. And especially if there's like Pokemon on the field that maybe have Sturdy or something that would be able to survive that hit from Miraidon, Mold Breaker is just gonna say nah and it's gonna kill you outright. And just being able to take some of those the Pokemon that abilities may have like hinder the way they can die from Miraidon, some of the other good offensive Pokemon on this team, Ogerpon could definitely take care of them when they can't.
For sure.
Speaking of offensive
And
Pokemon.
yeah, and now we're going to the third main offensive presence on this team, the Urshifu Single Strike. Now, note, this is Single Strike. This is the fighting Dark type version, not the Water type you may be accustomed to seeing. But don't let that fool you. This thing is still super dangerous, with its Unseen Fist ability letting it be a total cheater and hit through Protect. Wicked Blow, strong Dark type stab move, always crits. It gets close combat. It gets Sucker Punch. You can enhance that even further with a Choice Band, or ensure you stay on the field with a Focus Sash. Urshifu is a cheater Pokemon, and it is really strong.
Yeah, I'm sure he cheated on many of his wives, but I mean, he also gets like Swords Dance and Bulk Up, so like if he wasn't sure he was gonna kill you, he will kill you then, especially if you do run the Choice Band set, because Wicked Blow just makes you scared to use Protect, which is a very cheater move, and especially in a doubles draft format where Protect is like your safe zone.
Yeah.
In front of Urshifu, you are no longer safe. He will cheat with your wife, and he will laugh about it, and there's very little you can do about it other than hitting him with the fairy move, because quad weakness, unlike the other one. But I like this one personally, and it's a very
Yeah.
dangerous threat to have.
Also, base 130 attack stat on top of all that.
Yeah, as if
Thanks, Pokemon
these
Company, for
moves
making this
weren't
monstrosity.
strong enough before. I hate
Yeah.
you online. I like this Urshifu, but you should not be able to hit me through Protect.
And now it's the man, the myth, the legend himself, Brian Hands, coming in. And Iron Hands it is a future Paradox Pokemon, meaning this one, while the Electric Terrain is out, gets the advantage of Quark Drive. And to put in mind why this is such a big deal, just looking at Iron Hand's stats: 154 HP, 140 attack, 108 defense, in exchange for lower stats on the special and speed. But this thing could work well in Trick Room, and doesn't even always mind going last. It's a good, strong supporter with fake. It's a strong supporter who could put on fake out pressure or go all in on the offense. Launching wild charges, low kicks, adding sustainability with Drain Punch. There's a reason this thing is considered one of the best non-restricteds in the format.
Yeah, Iron Hands is one of those Pokemon where you look at the stats and you're like, yeah, Game Freak min-max with this one. Why couldn't Hariyama get these stats? Because especially if you run it with Electric Seed, get that defense boost in the electric terrain along with your Quark Drive. This thing is very hard to remove. Like the best way you can is trying to take advantage of that special defense stat only being 68. But like if you have like Ogerpon protecting you, that can just take advantage of that, and Iron Hands is just not leaving the field. I mean,
Yeah,
108 defense.
and well, also that's why virtually every single Iron Hands you run across is going to be running the Assault Vest item to shore up that weakness to special attacks. Assault Vest is mighty, and just when Iron Hands is on the field with Electric Terrain up, this thing is basically a second restricted Pokemon. Let's be real.
Yeah, Brian Hands will be giving those hands, and you will not be able to stop him from doing so. But a Pokemon that might stop you is Whimsicott, because with all that support, I mean Tailwind, Encore, Moonblast, it gets let's see, it gets a bunch of other support, obviously.
Yeah, it gets greens as well, fake
Yeah,
tears.
if you want a Pokemon covering your back, this is a very good option, especially with that great typing of Grass Fairy. Very good in that Miraidon Iron Hands core.
Yeah, and again, like the Grimstar we were talking about earlier, Whimsicott is a Prankstermon, so all these status moves, it gets priority on those as well. So priority Tailwind, priority Encore, screens, and its Moonblast, if hitting super effective, doesn't deal insignificant damage necessarily either.
Yeah, I could definitely put out a decent amount of damage, and even with stuff like Prankster Taunt, you can just get rid of other Pokemon that are trying to do the same thing to you that maybe don't have Prankster. I mean, it gets good attacking moves as well, like Psychics, Giga Drain. It could definitely do damage if you decide to just ignore it and focus on the main offensive threats. You'll find that Whimsicott is pretty scary if you leave it alive.
Yeah, I just think it's such a valuable. I just think it's such a valuable supporter. Other than Moonblast, I wouldn't really want to run many other attacking moves. I mean, if Moonblast are good enough as is, it gets stab on that, and that way you could have two to three other moves in your move set to either support your team or disrupt the enemy team, or both.
Mm-hmm. And yes, Prankster Tailwind on its own is enough to carry a game, and yeah, it just gets so much more as well.
And now we see Hitmontop, the intimidator, the intimidator of the Rising Raichus here.
And what a good intimidator at that. A Wolfie special. Getting fake out, wide guard, close combat. You can also get stuff like Feint, Endeavor. Like, it's a very interesting.
Coaching.
Oh yeah, coaching as well. Specifically wanting to prefer to run Covert Cloak to try to avoid those extra special options. Try to avoid getting faked out because you don't want your fake out mon getting faked out. Or it can just stay there with longevity with leftovers.
I mean, Hitmontop may have a low HP stat, but its defenses are very solid with 95 defense and 110 special defense too.
Yeah, overall not a bad pickup. I mean, it can do a lot of things offensively, triple axle, close combat. This is like one of the better like intimidate mons that you could pick up, especially wide guard being so prevalent in a restricted meta with all those
Yeah.
astral barrages and precipice blades going about. Definitely very valuable.
Definitely, I use this thing on my singles team back in season 2. So definitely a Hitmontop fan.
Yeah, I like him on top. Him on lead let me down. But someone who would never let you
Another of
down
my
because he always
favorites
so up
here.
is Farigiraf.
Another of my favorite Pokemon here. And this thing, if Iron Hands is Miraidon's right hand mon, Farigiraf is the left hand right here. These mons were destined to go together, with Farigiraf getting such great use out of the electric seed, making it even more defensive. And this thing is what enables the trick room mode I was talking about earlier, and it can support the team in other ways. Just helping hand, it can roar, it can block healing with psychic noise. It has foul play to serve as like an anti-shadow rider option, or just dealing solid damage into physical attackers. For draft stays around and supports the team really well, and if set up right, it can even have some staying power and spread out some damage.
Especially with the abilities it gets. For one, Armor Tail being able to just completely
Oh yeah,
negate all priority moves, or if you're feeling a little different, especially in a draft mode, Sap Sipper, maybe want to stop some of those grass moves that like the Ogre Pawns and the Rillaboom's are about. Like this is a Pokemon you want in your corner to stop that disruption. Maybe stick its neck out into that tree to get you that Oran Berry you couldn't reach because you're a little short. This is the Pokemon you want by your side.
but yeah. Armored Tail is what just takes a solid support Pokemon and puts it over the edge as a top threat. Just being able to stop all priority moves is such a big deal, especially in restricted formats like this one.
Mhm. But of course, sometimes you got to get that mascot pick in, and honestly, it does pretty good on this team as well, being a Alolan Raichu.
Yeah, Alolan Raichu, it was definitely a mon uniquely suited to take advantage of the electric terrain with its Surge Surfer ability.
And with it being a Raichu by proxy, it gets all the Raichu fun moves like Fake Out, Nuzzle, Endeavor. It gets all the Raichu originals. Get some knockoffs, some screens. It gets a funny surf
Yeah, it's just
because it'd be surfing
an
in
all-around
grass.
solid mon that really favors the electric terrain that Miraidon really enables to be prevalent.
Has a really good shiny. Looks like a little pancake. But yeah, pretty good pickup, especially for a team like this, and obviously mascot bonus always helps.
Yeah, extra points for getting the mascot.
Mhm. But here we have another interesting Pokemon to pick up, being Altaria, which is uniquely set up to kind of stop some of the weather wars going on, especially if you only want your terrain to be the only thing buffing you, and you don't want any other suns or rains or weather or hails about. Altaria with its Cloud 9 will shut it down.
Yeah, one of the very few mons able to set down weather. This thing otherwise has a supportive move pool. Hey, Haze can get rid of any setup threats from the opponent. Breaking Swipe, helping nerf him down. It does have the option to Parasong. I'm not sure if that's going to see much use on this particular team, really, but it's an option.
Yeah, this is definitely
It's
more of
something to be aware of.
a much more supportive version of Whimsicott. Not more supportive version than Whimsicott, but like this thing's not going to really be doing the damage that like something like Whimsicott can when it stays on the field.
Yeah.
But it was very bulky, especially if you decide to run it with an Assault Vest. This thing can stay on the field. They can shut down that weather. You try to keep it alive, you know. But it's definitely one of those Pokemon you bring to a couple matchups to really shut down what you're running up against. But other than that, I don't really see it staying every week. But it's still an interesting
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah, this is definitely a matchup mon for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Uh,
In rounding things out, it's everyone's favorite little chomper, Fuecoco.
yeah, I'm not sure if we can have the luxury of calling this one a matchup mon. This is he's on your bench with two little pom poms, and everyone loves him. But I mean, he can do stuff. It's kind of how we were talking with Psyduck.
It's a last round one pointer.
Yeah, you want to fill out that full roster, and it's nice to have a cute, cuddly support in the back. He might not make it to the teams, but he's gonna be in every team meeting like if he's a full member, because that's what he is, little Fuecoco. I mean,
Yeah, and hide your snacks at those meetings though.
hmm. They're gonna have to buff up the stacks just for Fuecoco, because he might be munching through those snacks. But I
Yep.
mean, if you decide to run it, which is always a risk in itself, but it can pay off. I mean, it gets interesting moves from just being part of the Fuecoco line. Will-O-Wisp, Yawn, Sunny Day, Roar if you want to get rid of something that's set up.
Yeah, I guess it could set up the sun for Hearthflame here.
Yeah, I mean, they could at least give a helping hand, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much to say about Fuecoco, but he's here. We also love him. And maybe
Yeah.
he'll see a game and he'll pop off. Who knows? It's draft.
And yes, this seems only in my app because I'm jealous of it. But anyway, speaking of me, yes, this is my team, the Malevolent Miraidons, featuring Koraidon front and center.
It's fine. We just give him a good coat of paint, not paint of coat.
Yep.
Purple, and then he'll be just like Miraidon.
Just give him a time machine, send him to the future, and then I have a Miraidon.
True. But if you don't go far enough, you might just end up with the Cyclosaur.
True. And no one wants that outcome.
Yeah. But I mean, from a general standpoint, this is so wolfy coded team. Obviously, really good for setting up the sun for some of the Paradox Pokemon on here. The demon spawn himself, Smeargle. The other demon spawn, but not as bad, Goldengo. And then obviously some fun picks on the bottom. Overall, really great team to have. I mean, Koraidon is just in general also pretty good. And being able to set up the sun is already, especially in these weather wars, it's very important to have.
Yeah, definitely. I was really glad to get the Fluttermane to pair with Koraidon at the very least.
Definitely a very Pokemon to have next to each other.
Yeah. So threatening in their own rights. Starting off here with the man of the hour himself, Koraidon. This thing is a dragon fighting type that doesn't realize it's a fire type. It has, with fire type, it can rack up super strong Flare Blitz, and if you're not ready, for that and taking that recoil damage, you can boost your speed with the weaker but still potent Flame Charge and fighting type moves. You can launch a close combat if you want that extra oomph. Otherwise, you could go for that super effective boost on your signature move, Collision Course, dealing just a lot of physical damage, just being just nukes into a single target. You set up the sun for those photosynthesis mons or fire type mons on the team, and item-wise, there are really two choices here for Koraidon. You could run Clear Amulet, keep yourself safe from those pesky Intimidates, or you could go all in on the damage with Life Orb.
The funny Life Orb, I'm killing myself with Flare Blitz damage.
But it deals so much, though. It lets it nuke so many things.
Especially under its own sun that it sets up.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill someone, take like 58% of recoil, but like, it's so worth. It's gonna do it again, and it's gonna get someone else.
Absolutely.
But I mean, it might not even have to hit again, especially next to Pokemon like Fluttermane, who's also gonna just be doing stupid amounts of damage.
Yeah, the thing about I really like about Fluttermane is how versatile. One of the things is how versatile it is. You could build it in so many different ways. You could get so many different types of photosynthesis boosts based on how you set up your spreads. You could just nuke things with like Moonblast and Shadow Ball. You can you can provide speed control with Icy Wind. It can even sing the Perish song if you want. Fluttermane is just such a valuable mon if positioned right, and getting boosted by that sun even further. If there were to be to be a second restricted, it's essentially Fluttermane for this team.
Yeah, we were talking about how Iron Hands is second restricted. Fluttermane is practically a pseudo freaking restricted with how min-max its stats are. Freaking,
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
Pokemon with 135 special attack, 135 speed.
yeah, and 135 special defense as well at the cost of 55 in the physical stats and HP.
Mm-hmm. But putting next to like
Flutter
good
also gets
intimidating.
Taunt and Dazzling Gleam as well.
Oh jeez. I mean, it could even run in prison too if you want to get rid of some of those moves on the enemy team. Like
Yeah,
this thing is one of those Pokemon where I will gladly say it is broken because it is very broken.
yeah, it is.
But speaking of
Next up on
broken,
the squad, the 3-time world champion itself.
it's the
Love it or hate it, love it or hate it, it's the mushroom that everyone knows about. It's Amoonguss, with a sky-high HP stat and excellent support moves. This thing has been a mainstay in VGC play for years and years now, and it's not hard to see why.
Yeah, this is one of those Pokemon that no matter how much power creep, no matter how much new toys you get to play with, you're always gonna whip out old reliable Amoonguss with Spore, Rage Powder, Pollen Puff. It's just the classic. From Gen 5 to Gen 9, it is here to stay because this thing is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, if you want follow me pressure, just put a Pokemon to sleep, heal your teammates. This thing's got you, and it's so tanky as is, and you could turn that tankiness against the opponent with a Rocky Helmet, and you could even heal up. You could even heal up yourself just by switching out, thanks to its Regenerator ability too.
And even on a Sun team like this, it can like heal itself in mid battle with Synthesis and get like 50%
Yeah.
of its health back.
Yeah, Mugus will definitely be hanging around a while, and it's just so prevalent. A lot of things even run things like safety goggles just to try to counter this one mon. Taking up item slots of your opponents. I mean, that's honestly value in and of itself.
Even taking up Terra type, you can have Terra Grass just
Yeah,
to not get
taking up
bored as well.
yeah, taking a Terra and or an item slot on an opposing mon to try to counter it. It garners attention. People know what it does and what it wants to do, but it does it so effectively that you have to respect it.
It's one of those plan changer where if you do not plan for it, you will just get fungi.
Yeah. And speaking of support, Screamtail is another very prominent supporter, another beneficiary of photosynthesis, which could be in one of its defenses or its HP, or it could come in its speed, with it being very fast at 111 base speed too. And this thing gets support moves around the clock, Encore, Disable. It's another thing that could run Perish Song.
Yeah.
It can spread a bit of damage around with Dazzling Gleam. Just being an overall nuisance is this thing's game.
It gets Snowscape. Why can it set up hail? Wait, it can set up every weather.
I think it can set up every weather, yeah.
Why does it? Why have I never known that it could set up every weather? That's so weird.
Jigglypuff in the present day, they may put you to sleep, but Jigglypuff in the ancient days were so powerful that it could change the weather.
Jigglypuff in the past is Avatar the Airbender. What is this? But yeah, the very good support Pokemon, especially if you want to run that funny old Perish Trap mode. Yeah, Jigglypuff wishes it could be this. It wishes it can go back to its prime days. It peaked in Scarlet, I guess. I don't know. Speaking about peaking, we got the cheese stick man himself, Goldengo.
Goldengo. 103 special attack stat. It is immune to status moves. It has a spread type special steel move that comes at the drawback of lowering its special attack, but it can raise that back up with Nasty Plot. It can fire off stab shadow balls, and with the superb steel ghost typing, this thing is another menace.
Well, good thing it was paired with the Denny the Menace. But yeah, Rovingo is just. This is another Pokemon that you have to prep for every week, even if it doesn't come, just because if it sets up Nasty Plot, it's just gonna hit Make You Rain, and if you did not protect that turn, or if you already protected, you're gonna eat like either all your health or like 60 to 70% of your health, because this thing hits like a truck with that 133 special attack stat. It's crazy. Especially with choice specs, or if you want to run a more bulky route with the Citrus Berry, that's just gonna be sitting there longer, setting
Yeah,
up
because
even
its
more
defenses
nasty
aren't awful. Its defenses aren't awful too. I mean, 87, 95, 91's not bad.
Yeah, and then with it being steel type by proxy, it's gonna be bulky in general.
Yeah.
It will be throwing coins at you. It will be calling you broke, and you will not be able to say otherwise. Speaking of calling you broke,
and the villain of my team.
yeah, we didn't put moves on
It's
this one.
Smeargle.
Yeah, it's Smeargle.
It can learn literally any move in the game. I can use it for Follow Me. I can set Weather, Fake Out, a second Spore Setter if I want, or if Amoonguss isn't good in the matchup. Surprise, you're going to sleep anyway. Decorate. It can provide Wide Guard. It could do just take out half your HP with Ruination if you want. Has been a common tech lately with Smeargle. Icy Wind, Speed Control. I mean, you could think of it. You could run it as a moveset. It's Smeargle.
It is Smeargle. I mean, obviously, its stats kinda hold it back, but like not really. If you have Focus Out, you're gonna get one of those moves off. And yeah, with Moody, you're just running the risk of it getting ridiculous stats out of nowhere, and then it just ruins
Speed boost into Spore.
Yeah, Smeargle's Smeargle. Yeah, you kind of can't even prep for it because like you don't know what to prep for because it can do anything.
Yeah.
Smeargle.
The demon.
At least it's a little dog, but that's kind of the only thing I got
True.
going for it. But
And the other
another
half of the
Pokemon that would
Perish
definitely
Trap
call you broke,
mode.
especially with that side eye. It's Gothitelle.
Yeah, Gothitelle, the only mon that is legal in Scarlet Violet VGC that has the very strong ability of Shadow Tag, completely stopping any non-ghost types from switching out.
Yeah, it's gonna call you broke, and you're gonna have to stand there because you cannot leave unless you're a ghost type. But it's gonna fake you out. It's gonna use Psychic. It's gonna use Trick Room. Like, this is a Pokemon that you have to target down because if not, you cannot leave, and you will probably get perished on, especially in this team that has been drafted so far. I mean, it can do damage. It gets Nasty Plot. It gets Taunt to stop other Trick Rumors or to stop other things coming in. It gets Hypnosis if it wants to put you to bed as well. Haha.
Helping
You
Hand,
thought you
Heal
only had to worry about
Pulse.
Smeargle and Amoonguss. No, you also get put to bed here. It gets Heal Pulse, yeah. It gets Metronome 11. You missed out again.
Helping Hand. It even gets Foul Play.
Yeah, this thing is very good. Obviously, you have to be pretty good to use it because it's kind of hard to use.
Yeah.
Obviously, Shadow Tag's a good ability, but if it just gets targeted down, it pretty much becomes a nothing Pokemon. But I mean, on this team
Definitely.
and being piloted by Denny, this is a Pokemon you gotta be afraid of.
And next up, we have the Combat Breed Tauros. Yeah, we were late in the draft, and I realized I wanted something with Intimidate, and this was a cheap enough option that's still pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean the Tauros is especially this generation's variant of them are like pretty good. Obviously, maybe not so much in like the restricted meta, but with a meta where each person's only really has one restricted, it definitely has an opportunity to shine. This specifically being the combat breed, I mean it doesn't have to worry about like the extra weaknesses that maybe the fire and the water one have. But I mean it can do stuff on its own. It's got a pretty solid defense stat, being able to use that body press pretty effectively. It will get double stab if you Terra fighting it pretty much. And then obviously it gets its own Raging Bull, it gets Rock Slide, it gets a bunch of stuff that
You just break through screens.
yeah. Like
Yeah, it's just a solid Intimidator that could deal some damage.
Definitely a good like late game pickup for an Intimidator. Not bad by any means.
Yeah, it's a matchup mon.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of matchup mons, you have what's basically a mascot of mine at this point, Cacturn.
Hmm. I mean,
Turn.
Cacturn gets some pretty interesting stuff overall.
He's cool. It gets water absorb. If you give it a choice band, its stab needle arms can hit really hard, actually.
Hmm. I mean, if you want to just cheese someone, put Destiny Bond on it, or just
Yeah.
take someone's item away with a good old knockoff, especially stab. And if you wanted to be really funny, you can set up the Sandstorm with Screamtail and then run Sandveil and
Oh my gosh.
avoid all attacks if you're lucky. I mean, this is definitely another matchup mon, but they could be a pretty good one, especially if you're running with Electric Seed on. Actually, no, maybe not Electric Seed for this team, but maybe Psychics.
I think it could run
Maybe
at
not,
least, yeah.
but definitely a Focus Ash mon
Yeah.
if you want to do some fun stuff with it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Cacturn gets Grassy Glide, which is sad. That could go funny with that grassy terrain access.
That is kind of tragic. Oh no, it doesn't get Grassy Glide. It does get Grassy Glide.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it didn't.
You can set up its own terrain too if you wanted.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah, it does get it. By TM. Cool.
You could also set up a lot of the weathers as well, except for, I think, Snowscape.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely a matchup mon. Not a bad pickup
Yeah.
in the draft.
And finally, we have Sneasler at home. It's Hisuian Sneasel. This pre-evolved version of an infamous mon is a much more tame version of its evolved counterpart. It still does have access to Dire Claw, so beware of that, but this thing could just function more as a supporter. It's another fake out user, a taunter, can stop some priorities with quick guard.
Wait, does it get Dire Claw?
I'm pretty sure. I think it does.
I'm not seeing that it does. Danny.
Oh. Oh, well, if it doesn't, it's still a decent supporter anyway.
I mean, yeah, it's still decent just for me. It gets, yeah, fake out, taunt, quick guard. I mean, just having
Oh,
another
no, yeah.
fake out mon is pretty good.
Oh, yeah, just Sneasler. It's learned on evolving. Right, okay.
Yeah, it's still not a bad one-pointer pick for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it also gets inner focus as well, so it can't be flinched. Having a fake out mon that can't be flinched is always good. But yeah. Good pick.
Moving on, we have TheGengGang here. Your team took Rayquaza as their restricted, our first off-the-board restricted pick of this draft.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as the coach of the TheGengGang said himself, these were Pokemon that were picked off vibes, and the vibes are kind of immaculate. I won't lie. There's some very interesting picks, but I think like
A lot of ones that I like.
Yeah, I think this works like as a good draft team because you have a lot of different options to choose from. Maybe not a specific archetype that you're leaning into, but you have a lot of tools. If you put them together correctly, they could definitely take a couple sets.
Yeah, it could work with like something with Ice Terror to set up the snow, or just outright canceling opposing weathers with Rayquaza and that airlock, and just firing off those just super powerful attacks. Ogerpunk Cornerstone is great. Metagross is a pseudo legendary. Ceruledge, Araquanid, Greninja, all solid mons. Regieleki, fastest mon in the game.
Well,
It's just a bunch of like, yeah, a lot of individual. I'm not quite sure how the bigger picture fits as a whole, but a lot of individually solid Pokemon.
And if we really go individually, Rayquaza is not that bad of a mon, to be honest. It's kind of just better Dragonite. I mean, it gets Dragon Ascent, Extreme Speed, Swords Dance, pretty fast. Let's see exactly how fast.
95 base speed.
95. Okay, maybe not that bad, but you have Extreme Speed, so it don't matter what your speed stat is.
Yeah, and your attacking stats are both 150.
Oh, jeez, yeah. This thing is gonna be hitting hard, especially if it decides to normal Terra Extreme Speed. It's gonna be hitting something first. It's gonna be hitting it hard, maybe taking it out. But even if it doesn't, that's what your Pokemon that is next to you is for.
Yes.
And obviously the invaluable airlock, especially in all the weather wars that are going to be happening here. It's going to be a
Yeah,
useful
we have
tool to
so
have.
many different teams using weathers in this draft. Airlock is going to be such an important ability here. I can say that with confidence.
Mhm.
Yeah, and yes, I can confirm Rayquaza gets scale shot as well. Another thing to look out for.
Oh, jeez. Loaded dice Rayquaza. Yeah, here we have Ogrepon. Again, the third one this time, being Cornerstone. The rock variant in particular, running typically sturdy for his ability, or not, that's his only ability that he gets. But it gets the same moves as the other Ogrepons that we've gone over. This one specifically having a better niche for tanking those follow me attacks because it has sturdy. So it's no matter
Yeah.
what it's getting hit by, it's gonna be taking at least one. Uh, and yeah, Ogrepon's really good. Rock one is also very interesting, sturdy, pretty good.
Yeah, it's an Ogrepon. It's really good.
hmm Speaking of pretty good, uh,
The
like you said, the
fastest
fastest
Pokemon
one.
there is. It's Regieleki. Base 200 speed, 100 in both attacking stats. Have you heard of a glass cannon? Because I think the definition has Regieleki's face next to it.
Yeah, I think he's inside the definition actually. He's like in a little jar. You can see his little face poking
Yeah.
out. Yeah, it's very fast. It can slow down other Pokemon even more with Electro Web. It can switch out if it's not in a good matchup, aka a ground type. But I mean, even if it was in front of a ground type, it having access to Terra Blast and being able to Terra to any other type that it wants to cover damage-wise,
You're
very
like,
invaluable.
ice
And
and flying are terrors that stick out to me right away.
mhm. And obviously with its transistor abilities, its electric attacks that it does hit with that 200 base speed are gonna hit pretty hard. And then obviously
Yeah,
typically run with Focus
for
Sash
sure.
and Covert Cloak. Try to avoid extra fake outs because even if you're
Y-
fast, you can still get faked out.
Yeah, honestly, I could even see Magnet being really good on this because like all the attacking moves you want to use on Regieleki are electric type anyway.
Mhm. Yeah, very solid
Yeah,
pickup, very fast.
yeah, it's not as strong as it was in the Gen 8 days when it could benefit from the Dynamax mechanics, but especially in the draft format, Regieleki can be surprisingly good. I mean, it's not in danger of being outsped by virtually anything.
You don't have to pretty much run almost any speed investment to be honest. You kind of
Yeah.
fit in other slots. It's definitely a matchup mon for sure though. It's very good, but there are some
But
matchups where it is not as strong.
as far as matchup mons go, it's a really good one.
Yeah. Next up is Metagross, a Pokemon from your last draft season.
Yeah. Yeah, surprisingly has not seen much use in VGC in a long while really. I guess people feel like it's been like kind of power crept a bit.
hmm I mean, it's got pretty
But
respectable stats. I
it's
mean,
still
135 attack, 130 defense. I'm not sure if it gets
yeah, it's still a very
buffed
strong
by
Pokemon
buffs.
regardless. I mean,
Oh, it does get buffed.
uh, I mean stab bullet punch off that attack stat is really good to have. Psychic Fangs is a great move, also able to break through screens. It has a lot of weight for its heavy slams, gets stomping tantrum, and as you wanted to point out here, Armando, it does get explosion.
It was in the top three moves. I'm kind of concerned because I don't know if I missed this meta or why is Metagross blowing up on everybody. But I think conceptually that is pretty funny. Um, yeah, I don't know why it was in the top three moves on Pikalytics, but apparently Metagross do be blowing up. Uh, I mean, and Pseudo Legend blowing up on you with the 135 attack. Yeah, no, I would definitely have him blow up a couple times.
Oh, wait, when I go into items, why am I seeing the normal gem? Oh, normal gem explosion.
Oh, interesting. That seems like a best
One
of
is
one
definite.
strat.
Well, its usage is pretty low, so it's probably just like one or two people just
One or
using
two
it a
people
decent
are using
amount.
a lot of explosion Metagross.
A lot of explosion in normal gem. Moving on.
I'm moving up to another quadruped. Oh wait, no, I lied. It has 6 legs. I can't see. Uh, But Araquanid being a water bug type, honestly not a bad Pokemon, especially in doubles. Maybe doesn't get the opportunity to shine in a lot of metas, especially with restricteds, but with it only being one, I think it does have a good chance to shine, especially with Wide Guard being as valuable as it is here.
Oh, especially in any meta with restrictors, there's so many really strong spread moves coming out that Wide Guard is just so valuable.
It has pretty great abilities with Water Bubble being prevented from being burned, and also Fire type does even less than that. Also gets Water Absorb if you want to protect yourself from some of those Water type attacks
Yes.
coming into you.
Yeah, that's two good ability options right there. The Infestation can trap a target, deal a little bit of damage. Liquidation is a strong stab. Leech Life is another good stab. Since it's a stab that can also just help Arachnid's sustainability even further.
I mean, yeah, it gets Icy Wind. Let's see. It gets the screens. And being able to trap a Pokemon in, especially with Pokemon that has longevity potential as Araquanid, especially if you put leftovers or something on it, it's gonna be a bad time.
Yeah, and that's I mean it's like outside of its defenses, it's nothing like super special, but it's solid enough.
Mhm.
And that brings us over to Ceruledge, Pokemon Violet's counterpart to Armarouge, and just a really cool looking Pokemon.
It's got sword
And
hands.
to go with the sword hands is its 125 base attack stat that it can fire off these Bitter Blades and Shadow Sneaks with.
Yeah, this is a Pokemon that definitely does a lot of damage with that insane attack stat. I mean, typically runs like Bulk Up or Swords Dance anyways. It seems people, at least in this meta, are running it more bulky, especially with the usage of Bulk Up being so high. I mean, it's got like not bad defenses, to be honest. You definitely can run it bulky. I mean, having Flash
Yeah,
Fire
70,
helps with
80,
itself.
100.
And then if you want to run more Glass Cannon build, you can run Weak Armor, Swords Dance, and then just try to take something's life. Maybe heal up all your HP that you just lost with Bitter Blade.
Wait, this gets Ally Switch?
Well, I guess because the other one does, or Armor Rouge does. So I guess, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that can definitely mess you up if you get Ally Switch
That's
ready.
funny. Yeah, Flash Fire is a great ability, too.
Oh, yeah, put it next to a Pokemon that's weak to fire, Ally Switch. You're donezo, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, really solid mon. Hasn't had like the biggest of breakouts in doubles. It had a little bit early on, but I think in a
Yeah,
draft,
not too much usage, but it's a solid mon, especially for draft format, like you were saying.
yeah. But here's another Pokemon that honestly is pretty decent in doubles, mainly because it has Fake Out. Obviously, that attack stat of 75, I think, kind of holds it back. But with
Yeah.
a move like Gigaton Hammer, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it has Mold Breaker, it has Fake Out, it has Swords Dance to power up its Gigaton Hammers and Play Roughs. It gets some other good supporting options like Encore and Thunderwave, too. And Helping Hand.
And Metronome 11, you missed out. Yeah. This is a support Pokemon that can also bonk you.
Yeah.
Another good pickup. I mean, Fairy Steel, fantastic typing. This is not much more you can ask for in a Fake Out mon like this. Oh my god, it's my mascot, Greninja.
Moving on, I'll let you take the floor for this one.
Yeah, Greninja, very good in singles. I don't know how much he is good in doubles, but obviously he gets fantastic abilities with Protean, Battle Bond. If he picks up a KO, he can probably pick up another one. If you run Water Shuriken, this is kind of not like on the point, but in Cobblemon, I used Water Shuriken Battle Bond with loaded dice, and
That's
yeah.
on its most used set.
Yeah, that it's a very
Loaded dice
scary
is used
set.
56% of Greninjas in Reg H, I'm seeing.
Yeah, Water Shuriken loaded dice is very scary, and even though it maybe doesn't have like the greatest showing for doubles in the draft meta with Pokemon like this strong, and especially with Protean, it can pretty much have its own built-in Terra type alongside whatever Pokemon you actually decide to Terra. It's good damage, and also gets supporting moves. You know, Haze, Icy Wind. This is a Pokemon that's definitely nice to have in your back pocket.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Ab, Absolutely. Here's
Ah.
Obama Snow. It's cold. Why'd you make it so cold, Obama? It's Obama Snow.
Yeah, it's the second best. It's the second best snow setter in the game.
I wonder who has the first. It doesn't matter. But Obama Snow. I mean, it's a pretty good like budget last pick. It was kind of more later in the draft, but
Yeah.
I mean, against Blizzard, Giga Drain kind of run as a special attacker, even though it's mainly a physical attacker. But in terms of physical ice moves, there's not too many. Obviously, it gets Aurora Veil, which is just really good for protecting your Pokemon. You could run it with Light Clay, or if you want that hail to be a little longer, especially in all the weather wars that are going to be happening, Icy Rock is not a bad pick as well. Ice Grass is it's questionable typing, but with Terra types being available to
Thankfully,
it,
its
it has the
specialization
opportunities.
exists. Yeah.
Yeah, it has the opportunities to pop off. Big bad Bombasno is here.
Yeah, saw some use early in Reg A before
Mhm.
Little Ninetales was back in the game on some snow teams.
Yeah. Speaking of Pokemon that saw use very early on, I mean, it still gets used in a lot of singles because of
Yeah,
Unaware.
singles it sees use.
It's Clodsire.
I love Clodsire.
He's so happy. He looks like a little donut. I saw him at Safeway today. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Clodsire.
very, very chunky.
You got a lot of HP with base 130, and you're especially bulky. You can set up Toxic. You can try to disrupt your opponent with Yawn. Get some decently powerful Earthquakes off, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, he's a little brown bean. He's gonna poison you or maybe get you to leave with Yawn. Um, he can take a couple hits. He's definitely a disruption Pokemon. Definitely a matchup check. He
Yeah, I
can be
feel it'd
useful,
be
but I don't know.
it'd be stronger if someone drafted Dondozo because of Unaware.
Yeah, I mean Clodsire is not horrible. I mean Poison Ground, not horrible typing.
Yeah,
Being able
it
to
gets Water Absorb
yeah, it
too.
gets Water Absorb. Yeah, Clodsire has never had too much success in doubles, but maybe in a draft meta he could. You know, there's always Pokemon that surprise us in draft metas, so maybe hopefully Clodsire is one of them. Look at his little happy
Yeah,
face.
for
He's so
sure.
ready. But moving on to our next team, arguably the scariest team in the draft, just
Yeah,
based on the Pokemon.
I said the Miraidon team is arguably the strongest team in the draft. That's why this is the other team that has that in contention. Just look at those top four. You have Calyrex Shadow Rider as your restricted. You have Incineroar and Rillaboom and Urshifu Rapid Strike, the quintessential fire water grass balance core. And you have so much tankiness to support them.
Yeah, this team is kind of scary, especially Hisui and Gudra. That thing has hurt me in doubles in ways that no other Pokemon has. But yeah,
Watch
obviously
our
having
season 1 videos to find out more.
no, actually don't watch those. I don't want to relive that. But yeah, there's a lot of bulky Pokemon here. There's Pokemon that have great abilities with like Ting-Lu and stuff. Obviously, Urshifu can hit and cheat you with being able to hit to protect. He's got both Rillaboom and Incineroar. There's a lot to be worried about on this team.
Yeah.
But
Let's dive right in.
you want the thing to be more worried of, the most worried of, it's Calyrex Shadow Rider, the Haunts Rider. Oof, this
Yeah.
thing is scary.
Let me just say, Astral Barrage, extremely powerful ghost type special move that hits both opponents off of a base 165 special attack stat on a mon that also has base 150 speed.
And on a mon that if it gets a kill, it will do more damage in the next turn.
True. And you can't use berries to win against it.
No, you cannot. This thing is one of the top restricteds, and for very good reason. It does a lot of damage. If you're not running wide guard, you're still gonna get hit by stuff like that crazy psychic. I assume we get Shadow Ball. Yeah, it's gonna hit you hard.
It could even get like Draining Kiss, Pollen Puff.
It gets Metronome. Levin, you missed out again.
Levin didn't even have a chance for this one.
I know, he was gonna choose Lugia regardless. But yeah, this thing is really good. And there's no going around that.
And it also gets Expanding Force if you could get the Psychic Terrain up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind for later.
Yeah. Speaking of another good Pokemon, the other Urshifu, the arguably way better one because it's not quad weak to anything, Urshifu Rapid Strike.
Yeah, remember what we said about the other one having that ability to be a complete and utter cheater by hitting through Protect? Yeah, this one gets that too. Except this one's signature move, Surging Strikes, not only is a guaranteed critical like the other one, but it hits 3 times, so you can't even Focus Sash through this.
Yeah, Urshifu Single Strike, he cheated on his wife. Urshifu Rapid Strike, he cheated at life. He cheats at the casino. He cheats everywhere he walks, and he will do it multiple times because Surging Strikes hit you multiple times. And if you survived, he will Aqua Jet, stab, hit you. He will hit you with close combat. He will not die because he's probably running a Focus Sash. And if he's not running that, he's hitting you double as hard with that Choice Band. This is cheater number 1. He's on FBI's Most Wanted. Be afraid.
Be very, very afraid. It's Urshifu Rapid Strike. What else is there to say?
Well,
oh, right,
because
this
he's
thing.
next to this thing, Incineroar.
Ah, yes, the best support Pokemon ever created. This thing has Intimidate.
The best doubles Pokemon ever created.
Yeah, Intimidate, Fake Out, Knock Off, Parting Shot. It gets Helping Hand now. Oh, right. It can also deal some damage with Flare Blitz. If you want to pivot but want to deal damage instead of using Parting Shot, you get U-Turn. It gets Taunt. It has base 115 attack stat, base 95 HP, 90 in both defenses. Its lowest stat is its speed at 60, which like middle of the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Urshifu was the cheater attacking Pokemon, Incineroar is the cheating support Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a heal in wrestling, and it's a heal in our hearts.
Yeah.
And its partner in crime, Rillaboom, is here too, being another fake out pivot threat. Really good supporter that, again, can deal damage, whether it's with priority with the grassy terrain, it sets enabling Grassy Glide, or just going for the straight out Wood Hammer option in having U-turn to pivot out, putting on fake out pressure. Rillaboom will pretty much always be wearing the Assault Vest to shore up its base 70 special defense, but otherwise this thing hits pretty hard. It's a really good fake out pivot. It's the eminent grassy terrain setter in the game, so it could disrupt opposing plans if you're using like Spam or Miraidon team. You can change the terrain that way. It's really good. It's Rillaboom.
Yeah, it is Rillaboom. There isn't really much you add. I guess in general, just having grassy terrain just increases the longevity of any team because you will be constantly gaining the health back. And with those Wood Hammers and Grassy Glides boosted by that terrain, it's not a good time. Another fantastic support Pokemon, and way too scary next to Urshifu and also Incineroar.
And Calyrex Shadow Rider.
And Calyrex Shadow Rider. Just a fantastic core that he picked up, and that we let him pick up. I didn't consider that anybody would let him pick it up while I was drafting my plan.
I know.
It's kind of too late. We're here now. We got to deal with it.
I considered drafting Rillaboom, but I already had a Moongus, and I didn't want to go double grass type.
Yeah. It is what it is. Now we have to learn to deal with this fantastic team that has been drafted. But who's next on this team other than Ting Lu?
This thing probably brings back bad memories to those of you who are active during Reg C, but thankfully Fissure doesn't appear to be that high on its usage anymore, though that doesn't imply it might not be used for draft, though.
Yeah. There is just a 30% chance you will cry yourself to bed that week, and who else to do it to other than King Lu? I mean, the Vessel of Ruin ability, automatically lowering all the special attack on the opposite side of the field. Ruination just doing half your health no matter what. Sand Tomb to trap you in if he doesn't want your misery to end there, and obviously can hit you with great stab moves, Earthquake, Stone Edge. Typically
Snarl, Taunt.
Yeah, Snarl. Another great Pokemon.
Yeah, Stomping Tantrum, also a strong move that could get even stronger if a move fails next to it, which on a mon as bulky, especially mon as bulky as Ting Lu, pairs really well with that Fissure strategy. Stomping Tantrum is part of what made that so dangerous.
Yeah. If a Pokemon can run Fissure and it's viable, you should be worried. And Tinglu is
Yeah.
nothing to be worried of. The Taco Bell moose.
Gong.
Gong. You're not gonna want to gong this one though, because here is Hisuian Gudra. He likes to keep it drippy with that Steel Dragon typing, fantastic typing with incredible defenses. This thing
Yeah,
gives
just
me
so
PTSD.
tanky.
My Swords Dance Doug trio didn't dent this thing. So yeah, I mean, very bulky, can also be pretty offensive. It gets pretty good coverage being Dragon type with Flamethrower, Draco Meteor, with that defense that can take advantage of it with a Terra fighting body press. It's something you have to prep for, because if not, you will get walled by it. Trust me, I am absolutely speaking from experience. This thing is not to be trifled with.
I mean, it has 80 base HP, 100 defense, 150 special defense on this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it also gets shell armor, so if you were thinking about critting it, no, you won't.
No.
No, this is the nut of the Pokemon. If you did not prep for it, you will probably lose to it. So alongside all these other scary Pokemon, Hisui and Gudra's here to also wall you as well.
And speaking of wall, oh wait, no, not this one.
Different wall, different wall. This thing sets up a
Yeah.
psychic wall, I think.
Yeah, remember earlier how I was talking about how if you could get the psychic terrain up, how Calyrex Shadow Rider also gets expanding force? Guess what sets up the psychic terrain?
The Butler NTD.
Indeed it does.
NDD. Yeah, this is obviously not as good as
Nope.
NDD female, but obviously pretty good in its own right. Obviously gets expanding force,
Yeah, it's-
helping hand, hyper voice.
Definitely still a good mon, the more offensive of the two Indeedee forms.
Yeah, as if there wasn't already enough offensive threats to worry about on this team. Now you got Psy Spam to worry about. And even if it's not being offensive, obviously it's a fantastic support. Just being able to set up that psychic terrain, helping hand, trick room.
Yeah, it's an Indeedee. It's an excellent supporter. You could even run your own Psychic Seed on it even.
Yeah, it gets fake out. It's kind of hard to remove because it's got pretty decent special defense, an okay defense stat. Like if you're running that psychic seed, it's gonna be even more bulkier. This is a Pokemon you also got to be worried about on an already scary team.
For sure.
But let's see if you're right. Speaking of walls, not quite.
There we go. There's another wall. Umbreon. Another very tanky Pokemon.
Yeah, it hasn't had the most presence in doubles, but I mean, in a draft format, this is definitely like a bulky support Pokemon that you don't mind having with you. I mean, yes, Snarl, Foul Play can have longevity with that Leftovers and Moonlight. Awesome Pokemon, awesome design.
Can taunt the other team and put a timer on them with Toxic. Use Roar to force some switches.
It's immune to flinches with that inner focus ability.
It could just Umbreon is something that could just stay on the field for a long time and just be annoying.
But
Also has a special place in my heart after a personal Nuzlocke run I've done.
Yeah, you can't really hate on Umbreon. It's got a fantastic design, and even if it's gonna be annoying on the field, you can't hate on it because his swag too crazy, his drip too hard.
Does it get swagger?
I'm checking. He does not know the move swagger, but that's because it's already built into his incredible design. Speaking of walls, another wall. Toxapex.
Yep, here we go. Toxapex. Was surprised to see this picked in the doubles draft, to be honest.
I mean, wide guard. I mean, that alone is good enough reason to pick it.
True, it does get wide guard.
It is very hard to remove, mainly a singles Pokemon for sure, but I mean, if you want a wide guarder that has really good longevity, Toxapex is not a bad pick whatsoever.
Oh hey, on its most common teammates in Regulation I, the two most common are Rillaboom and Incineroar. The fifth most common is Ting-Lu.
Huh. I'm starting to think some Pikalytic stats were looked through. Yeah, it's got fantastic defenses, obviously. Baneful Bunker, if you hit it, you're poisoned. I mean, something could. Oh, you know who could take advantage of that? Calyrex Shadow Rider with Hex.
Oh
Goodbye.
my gosh. Yeah, and your HP may only be 50, but when your defense is 152 and your special defense is 142, yeah, good. Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
have fun trying to get through that.
Yeah, this is definitely a niche pick, but I have good
Yeah,
faith
thing
that this
is,
is a Pokemon that's gonna get a lot of usage out of X Mark.
yeah, the only thing is, it's a bit hard to see this consistently taking up one of 4 slots given the sheer depth of this team and just the lack of any sort of presence despite its staying power, especially given the faster pace of doubles matches.
Mm-hmm. Oh, too far. Another
And the
Pokemon.
final member of this team, and yes, it is another wall. It's Hisuian Avalog.
Yeah, Hisuian Avalugg, pretty cool Pokemon. Unfortunately, very poor typing.
Yeah, this thing exists, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of a Trick Room sweeper. I mean, there's the option for that on this team. It's got 184 defense, but only 36 special defense. It's
but
rough.
can but but does it really have much it could do with that staying power? Is the question, especially like on a team loaded with so many really good Pokemon taking up those team slots.
Yeah, if you're like wasting your Terra to run this as a Terra fighting body press, it's like I don't know. You probably should have just used it on Calyrex Shadow anyways.
Yeah, honestly, I think Hisuian Avalok just it has some things it could do. It's an unfortunate victim of the concept of opportunity cost here.
Yeah, it definitely has a niche that it can fulfill, especially in a draft league like this. But next to so many hard hitters, it's gonna be hard to choose him over the
Yeah,
rest of them.
and there's so many tinky walls on this team too. It's just like we've been making the joke, but really, this team is like Calyrex, Calyrex balance, and then another wall, another wall, another wall.
Yeah, I just don't see a world where you pick Avalugg over Gudra. But I mean, if there
Yeah,
is, it's not a bad pick for sure, but it's just so hard against the rest of its team that it has to compete space with.
exactly. It just feels kind of redundant with some of the other choices.
Mhm.
And going over to your team, I'll let you take the floor on the broad overview here.
Yeah, I kind of had a similar approach to the TheGengGang where I wanted a lot of good pieces. I have a core of Kyurem and Alolan Ninetales, and obviously Weezing and Regigigas, but there's no like 4 Pokemon core or anything. It's kind of just a lot
Yeah,
of good
it's
pieces,
a
a lot of
couple
good
of
double Pokemon.
modes.
Yeah, there's a lot of modes that I can use here. Obviously, my GOAT is back, Volbeat. If anybody ever snipes him, we will have a vendetta, but he is here to stay for Season 3 again. There's just a lot of Pokemon here that I like, that I want to use. Landorus Therian, I don't really want to use that because I associate it with a certain person. We don't need to get into that. Um, I like Lucario, but it was kind of a last pick for sure. It does stuff. We'll go into it when we get to Lucario. But I have a lot of Pokemon that I like on this team, especially Regigigas. He gets Wide Guard. He's gonna do stuff even without Weezing, I hope. And obviously with my restricted being Kyurem Black, which is definitely a different restricted type of pick. I didn't really want to do like a top tier. I wanted a Pokemon that I think could excel in this format specifically, and I think I can make him work.
Yeah, hey, I totally respect it. I mean, this is a really interesting team to me because, like you said, it doesn't necessarily have an archetype it's built around. It doesn't necessarily have a game plan it's built around. It has like 3 or 4 different solid mini plans. It's not the most cohesive team, but definitely has a lot you need to look out for.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, obviously the one thing you have to look out for is my main man restricted, Kyurem Black.
Here in black.
Now, it's kind of interesting because he has a very good attack stat. He has 175, but he is held back by like a kind of mediocre speed. Obviously, he could take really good advantage of that Dragon Dance, and if you can run a pretty good scale shot Icicle Spear, or not Icicle Spear, yeah. Icicle Spear loaded dice set.
Yeah.
It's got uses. It's kind of hard to fit in if you don't have anything else to control the speed with, or boost up its defenses with. But it has opportunities to do stuff.
Yeah, also with this loaded dice, it could use Scale Shot as another option as well.
Another way to raise its speed and kind of actually be in control.
Well, yeah, definitely something I could see taking a lot of advantage of the snow your team wants to set up.
Being able to naturally get that 50% boost to its defense is really nice to have.
Yeah, get it out from its base 100.
But yeah, speaking of the best hail weather or snowscape weather setter, Alolan Ninetales. Fantastic typing, has Aurora Veil.
Great Pokemon all around.
Like, no complaints here. There's a reason I chose this as the first pick, because I was really afraid of losing it. I was not afraid of losing Kyurem Black. I would have just pivoted to Kyurem White, but I needed Ninetales for this team to work, for this idea. And because if there's a core, it's Ninetales is at the core here, because this Pokemon's just good. I mean, with Light Clay, set up Aurora Veil, even
the Aurora Veil mon, pretty much.
This thing invented Aurora Veil. If I don't want it to die, I can run Focus Sash. There are other sets that I have planned in the books that I will not reveal at this moment. But for now, know that this thing is pretty good offensively with that typing in Blizzard Spam and Aurora Veil, the Pokemon.
Support really well too. Gets moves like Icy Wind, Encore, Helping Hand. A lot of it can do.
Fantastic pick. Speaking of fantastic picks, yeah.
The former king of the game, reduced to a shadow of his former self, not from any nerfs, but more from power creep and the meta shifting around it. It's Landorus Therian, who had his throne so rudely stolen from him by Incineroar a while back.
Yeah, it was indeed a while back. Landorus Therian has fallen far from grace. Never really a Pokemon that I've used too much. I kind of just use Incineroar over if I wanted Intimidator or him on top. But I saw the opportunity. I saw the typings match up, the no overlay, and I was like, screw it. I'm never gonna get the chance to use this otherwise, because I'll just use Incineroar instead. So I picked up Landorus T. Obviously, pretty good ability with Intimidate, obviously, and being able to access U-turn.
Pretty good.
Fantastic ability. Gets U-turn, Stomping Tantrum, Rock Slide. Not so much in the flying stab, but that's most flying Pokemon.
It could go Terra Flying, Terra Blast, I guess.
Yeah, spoilers. It's gonna get a lot of use out of that Terra Blast, Terra Flying, because it's got pretty good attack stat. Let's see exactly what it was. 145. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, very good Intimidator. Obviously, was before the best Intimidator before he got rudely dethroned by a certain cheater.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I will learn to love it along this draft, because my opinion of it is a little soured for no particular reason.
And it's been a while since we've last seen a Photosynthesis mon, but here's Walking Wake, the Water Dragon type with a whopping 125 base special attack, and is a rarity in that it's a water type that excels in the sun, especially with that signature move Hydro Steam.
Yeah, I kind of needed a good water type. I was debating between a couple, but I was like, screw it. The weaknesses that it has as a dragon, it doesn't really have to worry about with some of the other Pokemon I have on my team anyways. It can be a very good sweeper with booster energy, but it typically does like to run Life Orb and that Mystic Water to boost the Hydro Steam. I do have Sun options, as we'll see later, and Rain options, I guess, as well. But with that special attack stat, it kind of doesn't even need that extra boost. I mean, with Draco Meteors, it's gonna probably stack bodies. And it can even still do support, obviously, with Snarl and other stuff it gets. Just overall, very good typing, very good Pokemon.
It's a good mon. Can also get a nice sun boosted Flamethrower as well, and Weather Ball even being a pretty flexible move, letting Wake really function well in either sun or rain.
Even the snow too, it can then get a pretty good ice attack off with that Weather Ball.
Yeah, Wake is a nice versatile mon, able to work a rarity in that it can work really well in multiple weather conditions.
Also, he looks really cool. He's like a Velociraptor. He's
But yeah,
awesome.
Wake's design is awesome. Definitely the best of that trio, I feel.
Yeah, design-wise, I agree. But of the original, I think Entei has a pretty good what's it called? Pretty good up in that race. But I do prefer Raikou. But Entei is probably
Same
the
here.
better of the three. What's it called? Competitive-wise. And for a good
Yeah,
reason too. I
Suicune's
mean,
no slouch either, though.
hmm?
Suicune's no slouch either, though.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But I mean, just having access to Sacred Fire, being able to run
Yeah.
something for what 50% chance, like that's
Ex-
kind of crazy.
Extreme speed off 115 attack.
Yeah, you can run normal Terra, do even more damage. Doesn't have to worry about getting intimidated or faked out and flinched. Very solid Pokemon. Can do that pretty good damage in the sun as well, especially if I put it next to Walking
Yeah,
Wake and stuff.
just you just run it with a choice item to shore up either speed or to get it, or to just further its attack output. Give it a choice item of your choice and let it go to town.
Hmm. Yeah, this is one of those Pokemon that I've always wanted to use. Never really could fit it into my team correctly, but the stars aligned and Entei is here. Speaking of here, who else
It's
would
your
be here
go.
other than my GOAT, Sweeper Volbeat baby, coming back for his third season. He's ready to get another couple of sets under his belt. Uh, I love this Pokemon. I like him a lot. He is a prankster Pokemon that's got a lot of supporting moves. Encore, Thunder Wave. He can even prankster Tail Glow if he wants to set up and sweep, which he might do in a certain week that I will not disclose. Uh, he gets the screens, he gets U-turn, he gets Bug Buzz. Uh, he gets a lot of stuff. Obviously, I love him. I chose him because I love him. Because of our funny free-for-alls. But
It can run a focus house set, but also, I mean, Volbeat can be surprisingly bulky at times too.
this thing has kind of crazy amounts of bulk, considering just that
Yeah,
it's just a one-stage Pokemon. Um, but yeah, I love Volbeat. He was gonna come regardless of who I drafted, unless he got sniped somehow. But he is here.
and
Uh,
we met Amoonguss, but now meet his cousin Bruce.
Bruce,
It's
yeah,
Brute.
this is the
It's
cousin that
Brute
never leaves
Bonnet.
the swamp. He doesn't come out to say much, but when he is gonna come out, he's gonna be annoying because he's part of the Amoonguss family. Obviously, he gets the spores, the rage powders, all the stuff that makes him good. But he is uniquely set to deal with Calyrex Shadow Rider, which I don't have to deal with in my weeks until maybe playoffs. But he might come into play, might tag into some other teams. Who knows? Obviously, he gets the dark stabs, your sucker punches, your
Bonet's
crunchies.
just really good in its own right too.
Yeah, just fantastic supporter. Slightly worse typing than the other Amoonguss, but obviously that gives it other stuff that it can do. Can honestly do a decent amount of damage, especially set up with
Yeah, it has
photosynthesis.
base 127 attack stat.
Yeah, this thing is it can put you to sleep and it
Plus,
might just kill you
plus a
itself.
possible photosynthesis boost.
Yeah, like Brew Bonnet is no slouch. It will put you to
It
sleep
definitely
in
can.
more ways than one.
And on top of the usual Amoonguss things it could do, it could also sucker punch you too.
Mhm. It just puts on a lot of pressure, both supportive
Does it
and
get
defensive.
Pollen Puff actually?
I think it does. Let me check.
Yeah, I'm checking.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it could do pretty much all the Amoonguss things.
Hmm. He's a Mungus, but he's got a little other stuff.
Plus more in it in exchange for losing out on Regenerator and some of the other tankiness.
Yeah. Now, speaking of fun picks that you don't really get to see too
Freezing!
often, it's Weezing himself. I also really like Weezing. I used Galarian Weezing, I think, in last season.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Weezing a lot. Its ability is awesome. It's gonna get a lot of shine here because there's a lot of Pokemon with really annoying abilities that we're just gonna say bye-bye, no more. Fantastic support. I mean, gets Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, Sludge Bomb, gets Toxic if I want to mess with some facade things. Uh, Being Poison type and having Levitate, it could pretty much only be weak to Psychic if it wants to at points. It's Weezing.
Wheezing.
Weezing. But Weezing Weezing's a cool Pokemon, but sometimes he
Yeah,
needs.
Weezing's always been up there for me. I've always been a Weezing fan.
I think Weezing needs more fans, and you know who's the biggest Weezing fan, other than Regigigas, the big man himself. I also quite like Regigigas a lot. I shiny hunted him in my Shining Pearl playthrough, and he's awesome. Unfortunately, he is stuck there for reasons we will not disclose. But Regigigas is here to play in the draft league. A fantastic wide guard Pokemon because he's very bulky, being pretty much a legendary that just gets nerfed because of his ability, which Weezing tags in, takes it away.
Yeah,
But
and without that slow start, I mean, looking at its stats, other than its special attack, which it doesn't use, its lowest stat is its speed at 100.
yeah,
Everything else
it's
is above
really
100.
bad.
Peaking with that 160 base attack for to get off moves like Knock Off or its signature Crush Grip.
Mhm. Obviously, with Weezing, it's an incredible attacker. It gets so many different moves because it's a normal type. Knockoff, Crush Grip, Thunderbolt. I think it gets Drain Punch, Rock Slide, high horsepower, Ice Punch, Iron Head. It gets a lot of
Yeah,
moves. But
Rain Punch even.
even if it's not really being an offensive Pokemon, it has a niche, I think, or at least I feel as a support Pokemon. Mainly with that Wide Guard, it gets Thunder Wave, it gets Icy Wind. I see potential in Regigigas that nobody else saw, and I hope to show it as many people as possible in this season.
Absolutely.
And then there's
And the
Lucario.
last member of your team, you said you wanted to talk about this one, I know.
Yeah, Lucario is a last ditch pick that I saw. It was between him or Magnezone. I ultimately ended up going with Lucario for a couple reasons. One, it obviously has really good stabs. I mean, it gets Bullet Punch, it gets Extreme Speed. Its attack stat and special attack stat can both pretty much be used. It's better as a special attacker, but obviously with coaching, it can also be a pretty good physical attacker as well. But the main reason why I drafted it was because of a funny little move called Quick Guard, which kind of protects you from all priority moves. And I think that can have really good usage against every Fake Out Mon and every Pokemon that has priority moves. It also gets Life Dew. It can be really weird, like supporting Pokemon. But I think having Quick Guard, just being able to deny some priority moves against me, can be really helpful against some of my Pokemon. And yeah, it just has really good move pool. I mean, it's Lucario. Obviously, it's a little frail, but with the
So,
Focus
yeah, it's a
Sash,
great mixed attacker. I mean, you could run it like either physical or special, too.
yeah, it has a lot of what's it called, variety for its movesets and stuff.
So yeah, and this was the halfway point of this draft league, of this draft recap.
Yeah, it's getting a little long. I think we need to tag someone in. Someone needs to
Indeed.
tag in for this greatness that we're seeing on screen.